Watermelon farming is a delightful venture that combines the joy of cultivating a beloved fruit with the satisfaction of nurturing plants through their growth cycles. This guide will provide a comprehensive overview of the essential steps and considerations for successfully growing watermelons, from selecting the right variety to harvesting the ripe fruit. To begin with, choosing the right watermelon variety is crucial. Watermelons come in several types, each with distinct characteristics. For instance, there are seedless varieties, which are popular among consumers for their convenience, and seeded varieties, which are often favored for their traditional taste and texture. Additionally, watermelons can be categorized by their size, color, and shape. Some common varieties include the classic Crimson Sweet, known for its sweet, juicy flesh and striped green rind, and the Sugar Baby, a smaller round watermelon that is perfect for home gardens. When selecting a variety, consider your local climate, the length of your growing season, and market demand if you plan to sell your harvest. Once you've chosen your watermelon variety, the next step is to prepare the soil. Watermelons thrive in well-draining, sandy loam soil that is rich in organic matter. Conduct a soil test to determine pH levels and nutrient content. Ideally, the soil pH should be between 6.0 and 6.8. If necessary, amend the soil with lime to increase pH or sulfur to lower it. Adding compost or well-rotted manure will enhance soil fertility and improve structure. Watermelons require plenty of nutrients, particularly nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, so incorporating a balanced fertilizer during soil preparation is beneficial. Timing is also essential when it comes to planting watermelons. These warm season crops need a soil temperature of at least 70 degrees, 21 degrees, to germinate effectively. In most regions, planting occurs in late spring to early summer, after the last frost date. You can start seeds indoors 3 to 4 weeks before the last frost and transplant them outdoors once the soil has warmed. Alternatively, direct seeding into the garden is a common practice, with seeds sown in hills or rows spaced adequately to allow for growth. Typically, watermelon plants require about 2 to 3 feet of space between each plant to ensure proper air circulation and sunlight exposure. Watermelons are heavy feeders and require consistent moisture throughout their growing period. However, it's essential to strike a balance. Too much water can lead to root rot, while too little can result in stress and poor fruit development. Drip irrigation is an excellent method for delivering water directly to the roots while minimizing evaporation. Regularly monitor soil moisture levels, especially during flowering and fruit development, as this is when watermelons are most susceptible to drought stress. As the plants grow, they will produce large, sprawling vines that can take up considerable space in the garden. Pruning can help manage growth and improve air circulation, reducing the risk of diseases. However, avoid excessive pruning, as this can hinder fruit production. Instead, focus on removing any dead or diseased leaves and controlling weeds that compete for nutrients and water. Mulching around the plants with straw or black plastic can help suppress weeds, retain soil moisture, and keep the fruit clean. Pollination is another critical aspect of watermelon farming. Watermelons have separate male and female flowers, and bees play a vital role in transferring pollen from the male to the female flowers. To encourage bee activity, consider planting flowers nearby to attract pollinators. If you notice poor fruit set, you can hand-pollinate by transferring pollen from male flowers to female flowers using a small brush or cotton swab. This practice can significantly increase your yield, especially if your farm is in an area with limited bee activity. As the watermelons begin to develop, keep an eye out for pests and diseases. Common pests include aphids, cucumber beetles, and spider mites, which can damage the plants and reduce yields. Employing integrated pest management, IPM strategies, such as introducing beneficial insects, using insecticidal soaps, or applying organic pesticides, can help control these threats. Additionally, watch for signs of diseases like powdery mildew or fusarium wilt, which can affect watermelon crops. Maintaining good air circulation, practicing crop rotation, and ensuring proper watering techniques can help mitigate these issues. Fertilization is an ongoing process throughout the growing season. As the plants begin to flower and set fruit, switch to a fertilizer higher in potassium and phosphorus to promote healthy fruit development. A balanced approach, including foliar feeding with micronutrients, can also enhance growth and yield. Regularly assess the health of your plants and adjust your fertilization schedule accordingly. Harvesting watermelons is a rewarding experience, but knowing when to pick them can be tricky. Watermelons are typically ready for harvest 70 to 90 days after planting, depending on the variety. Signs of ripeness include a dull skin sheen, a yellow spot on the underside where the fruit rests on the ground, and a dried tendril near the stem. When you tap the watermelon, a hollow sound indicates it is ripe. Use a sharp knife or garden shears to cut the fruit from the vine, leaving a few inches of stem attached to prevent spoilage. After harvesting, proper handling and storage are essential to maintain the quality of your watermelons. Store them in a cool, shaded area if you plan to sell or consume them soon. For longer storage, refrigeration is recommended, as it can extend freshness for a couple of weeks. When selling, consider local farmers markets or grocery stores, as fresh, locally grown watermelons are often in high demand. In conclusion, watermelon farming is an enjoyable and fruitful endeavor that requires careful planning, attention to detail, and a bit of patience. By selecting the right variety, preparing the soil, managing water and nutrients, and staying vigilant against pests and diseases, you can cultivate a bountiful harvest of this beloved summer fruit. Whether you're growing for personal enjoyment or commercial sale, the satisfaction of biting into a juicy, sweet watermelon that you've nurtured from seed to harvest is an experience like no other. Embrace the journey and let the joy of watermelon farming enrich your life.